Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Don't Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In today's video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to talk about the Denver Nuggets. They were eliminated by the Minnesota Timberwolves in the Western Conference semifinals in 7 games. It was a rough series. It was an up and down series. Denver lost their first 2 home games. Then Minnesota lost their home games. Then Denver got a win at home. Then Minnesota went back and won their game at home. Then it went to Game 7, and it was like a very weird Game 7, if you ask me. Jamal Murray showed up. Nikola Jokic showed up. But everybody else in the Denver Nuggets, it was like the song, you know, you're like, where are you? Nobody showed up. Timberwolves were able to get the dub. They went on to the Western Conference Finals. And the question I want to kind of ask is, what went wrong for the defending champion Denver Nuggets? Because they were talking all that smack back when they won last year about running it back. They were going to make it happen. They were talking all this shit all through the regular season. They had a little bit of a downside to the regular season. Then they shot up to the moon towards the end of the season. They were looking good. They defeated the Los Angeles Lakers in the first round, 4-1. It looked like they were on track to go back-to-back winning the NBA Finals, becoming back-to-back champions. And then the Minnesota Timberwolves basically just like, it was almost like running to a buzzsaw with the Timberwolves. So like I said, I kind of want to just run through it, talk about the Denver Nuggets and kind of what went wrong for them, how they lost the series, what went wrong for them, kind of why they lost and kind of ended their season here, and kind of just review the team in general. So without further ado, I'm going to stop rambling and we're going to get straight into this. So if you're going to enjoy, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on this video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. But without further ado, let's get into it. Now, real quick, let's talk about Game 7, the final game of that series. As I said, the Timberwolves, they won that game. They won 98-90. It was a very good game. The Timberwolves, they came to play. They showed up. They locked in. They got the job done. Now, in the case of what we're doing, we're talking about the Denver Nuggets. What went wrong for them? Well, as you can see, like I said, Nikola Jokic, he showed up. Jamal Murray, he showed up. You take away them two, Aaron Gordon usually can give you, what, 11 points a game? And let's go referencing. As you can see here, we have the postseason splits, kind of their stats for all the players from the Denver Nuggets, 2023-2024 season. For the postseason, this takes up for the Lakers series and the Timberwolves series. Aaron Gordon averages about 14 points a game, and you gave us 4. Michael Porter Jr. can give you about 15 points a game on average. Let's say a bad night, maybe he gives you about 10. Well, he had a little bit worse than bad. He had about 7. Your other starter, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he usually can give you about 8 points. I'd say on a good night, maybe he can give you like about 10, 15 points. A Game 7 atmosphere where you need to show up. Can you give us at least 10? You gave us 5. And the thing that's weird with the Nuggets is, like, your bench is nothing. And one piece that they did lose, I think 2 pieces they lost. Last year when they made their title run to the NBA Finals, I believe they had Jeff Green on their roster. He was a veteran. He was an older dude, but he could still play some ball, and he helped them out a lot. As well as another player, Bruce Brown. He ended up leaving the Nuggets, I believe, and went to the Indiana Pacers in the offseason. It was a good sign because the Pacers that we saw from them, they went to Eastern Conference Finals. They looked good this season. He then was traded from the Pacers to the Toronto Raptors in the trade deadline, but he, I think, was a very big piece for this team last year in their title run. Now, when you look at kind of the way the dynamic of this team works, what is kind of their philosophy? It's a 1-2 punch, Jokic and Murray. Jokic, on average, is going to get his 25 points, at minimum 20 points, probably going to get about 30 points. He's going to get about 10 rebounds, and he's going to get about roughly 8 to 10 assists a game. Probably a triple-double. So when we hear people talk about slow down Jokic, they're talking like 20 points, 6 rebounds, maybe 4 assists. That's kind of what they're describing. When you look at Jamal Murray, he got his. He was still able to give you the 35 points. In a Game 7, he showed up. But what did the Timberwolves do? They were able to shut down the role players, the guys that usually are going to maybe here and there hit a three-pointer. They're going to make a drive. They're going to get a big-time rebound. Those guys, the Timberwolves, just completely neutralized them. And it kind of brings me to my question of, what do the Nuggets need to do for the next season? Well, as we can see here by the Denver Nuggets on this website, if you don't know what this website is, kind of has all the salary cap for it. But as we can see here, Jokic, he has the biggest cap hit, which is understandable. Jamal Murray, big cap hit. Michael Porter Jr., like I said, 7 points, 10 points, whatever it was. He's scoring that in a Game 7 with your lives on the line, and you're paying him $35 million. Aaron Gordon, he barely showed up, and he's getting paid $23 million. When you look at the entirety of this team, I would say out of the roster, Jokic stays, Murray stays, Porter Jr. probably has to stay because of that giant contract. Aaron Gordon stays, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is going to stay, and then after that, Reggie Jackson, maybe he can stay. Everybody else, like, what are they there for? Because if you look at the Nuggets team, they won 3 of the 6 or 7 games with basically just Jokic and Murray doing everything. And they were able to shut down the Los Angeles Lakers, so what gives that? Why couldn't these players do it against the Timberwolves? Now, getting back on track with the Denver Nuggets, what do they need to do for next season? They need to get some people in here. Some shooters, some defenders, something to help this team. Because I'm sorry, Mike Malone, the coach of the Nuggets, if your whole philosophy and your game plan is just let Jokic and Murray do everything through pick and roll, it's not going to cut it. Pick and roll, kick out the threes for Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter, letting them hit some open shots, letting Murray hit some mid-range, some three-pointers, letting Jokic drive to the rack, get the finger roll layups. That stuff's not going to work forever. We saw what the Timberwolves did. They neutralized you. You need to get some shooters in here. You got to get some pieces in here to help out the team. Now, just in case you're going to be wondering, well, who are they supposed to go after? Let's look at who the free agents are for next season. As we see here, 2024 season, all teams, all positions, all types. We'll go ahead and just do unrestricted free agency. That way they would have to worry about player options, team options, you know what I mean? And most likely with the fact that them already paying guys like Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr., those giant contracts, which I don't agree with. Let's say for the fact that they're paying Jokic and Murray their big contracts, which are deserved, they're not going to be able to afford all these guys up here around the top. Let's just say that. You scroll down here a little bit to the bottom and you kind of look at who's available. And I'm not going to lie, there's some decent people available within the market. I mean, kind of going through here, Royce O'Neal is available. Let's keep going. You need a center. Isaiah Hartenstein from the Knicks. He's going to be free agent. Maybe you can go after him. Do you need an antagonist? Somebody that's going to be aggressive on the defense? Patrick Beverley. He's available. I don't like him. I think he's a dick, but he's available. Philly's going to be losing some guys. Kelly Oubre and Cameron Payne, they're available. And the list goes on and on. Like, you look down this list and it's just like littered with talent that they're just waiting to get off the bench and go do something on the court. But ultimately, I'm going to kind of wrap it up by saying this. Like I said, when you look at the Denver Nuggets, their whole philosophy is just Jokic and Murray, pick and roll, kick out threes. That seems like what they're trying to do all the time. And it works, don't get me wrong. It works. They got to the playoffs. They got to the second round. They won a championship last year with it. Problem is, last year, they had the talent to go along with it. They lost some guys in free agency, which I'm surprised they lost guys when it's like, when you win a title, why wouldn't those players want to come back? But like I said, they lost players. They lost some people. They thought they were going to just run it back and it was going to be so easy. It did not happen. They need to go into free agency. They need to go, maybe they need to make a trade and see what they can do to get some shooters back in there, because obviously from what we saw in Game 7, the guys they have are not cutting it. And then one last little thing I want to talk about, Mike Malone, he had a little bit of an outburst against a reporter in Game 7 after the game was over. A reporter was asking a question along the lines of, how do you feel that you lost this game, even though you kind of were up like 20-something points in the game and you guys lost the game? How do you kind of feel? And Mike Malone said kind of along the lines of, that's a stupid fucking question. How do you think I feel? When in reality, it was a good question. It was like, he said it was basically a stupid ass question. No, it's a good question, Mike Malone. We're trying to get your insight. We're trying to see how you feel about losing. Yes, I realize you're pissed. You're pissed off that you lost the game. But when you're winning, you're talking shit, you're making fun of other people, but when you lose, it's like, we gotta feel bad for you now. I just want to say that that was a bad move by Mike Malone. I'm sure he apologized already, but that was a bad move by him. But other than that, I think I'm gonna wrap it up there. Hopefully you guys did go and enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. If you wanted to watch the entirety of today's video, thank you very much. And like I said, if you have a different opinion, do you think the Denver Nuggets choked in the Game 7? What do you think kind of went wrong? If you're a Denver Nuggets fan and you have more insight than I do, what do you think kind of went wrong with the team? Do they need to add people in the offseason? Do they have the team there? It's just things just didn't go right for them. Whatever your opinion may be, leave your complete opinion down in the comment section down below. You're more than welcome to talk about with you guys. If you're a fan of the content that I do poster and you want to go and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so. And do not forget to hit that little notification bell to be notified second to post. But without further ado, this has been Dylan Talk Sports. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.